The question of the age of the Earth. You have probably heard it claimed that science has shown that the Earth is 4.5 billion years old. You may have also heard that the Bible says the Earth is 6,000 years old. Now, these two figures cannot be reconciled without doing great damage to the Bible. However, it needs to be noted that the problem is not actual science, but atheistic mythology being pushed under the guise of science. The simple fact is that you cannot date an unobserved event in the past without making assumptions about the past. Furthermore, any such date is only as accurate as the assumptions being made. You will often hear it claimed, by those who compromise on the biblical age of the Earth, that there is no place where the Bible says that the Earth is 6,000 years old. Now it is true that there is no place where this is specifically said. However, the Bible does provide sufficient chronological information to project the creation of the Earth and the universe back to about 6,000 years ago. This means that the approximately 6,000-year-old age of the Earth is an important part of history as described in Genesis being accurate. One thing I have noticed over the years is that nothing destroys a good evolutionary argument better than the original paper. More often than not, reporting and educational material make research more supportive of evolutionary theory than the original papers do. This is true for the secular age commonly given for the Earth as 4.5 billion years. It is based on the 1959 paper Age of Meteorites and the Earth by Claire Patterson. In this paper, he uses a radiometric isochron between Earth rocks and meteorites to try to calculate the age of the Earth. A radiometric isochron is a method of radiometric dating that tries to overcome some of the problems of radiometric dating by using multiple samples. It does not succeed, however, because false isochron can and does occur. However, there is a more uncritical assumption behind this paper, and one that is readily admitted. It is that the Earth was formed by totally naturalistic processes by collapsing out of a cloud of dust and gas. In other words, this state is based on the presupposition that the Bible is wrong about how the Earth was created. This may come as a surprise, but the biblical age of the Earth is actually consistent with Patterson's paper. That fact is indicated by the following quote from the paper: "If the Earth is a late agglomeration without differentiation of meteoritic material, then it can have any age less than meteoritic material." The key phrase in this sentence is "any age less than meteoritic material." Now, of course, he is assuming that the meteoritic material is 4.5 billion years old, but it needs to be noted that 6,000 years is less than 4.5 billion years, and so 6,000 years is a legitimate age of the Earth within the context of this paper. Admittedly, the same thing would be the case if the Earth had been created by aliens sometime within the last 4.5 billion years. Simply put, the 4.5 billion year figure is a maximum age for the Earth and not necessarily an absolute one. It only qualifies as an absolute age if the Earth was formed by condensing naturally out of a cloud of dust and gas, as is claimed by naturalistic ideas on the origin of the solar system. Ultimately, the question about the age of the Earth and the various parts of it results from the fact that such old dates assume that only natural processes have been involved in the origin and history of the Earth. However, biblical history contains two major supernatural acts of God, that if they occurred would inevitably mess up any dating methods that assume only natural phenomenon were involved. In other words, if the Bible and its history of records are true, and you try dating the age of the Earth or any part of it assuming only natural processes, you would inevitably date the age as considerably older than it actually is.